Folks, this is an exciting week with Beltane, May Day, Walpurgisnacht, International Workers' Day coming up on Thursday and Friday, along with a full moon in Scorpio. And the other important event this week is Logan's birthday. So I just want to say, Logan, happy birthday. You're the best. Thank you so much for everything you are and do. Finally, I also want to say that I'm actually recording this forecast almost a week in advance, which I don't usually do, but I will be out of town at an astrology conference while y'all are watching this. So I needed to get it done beforehand this time. Hopefully no earth-shattering events have occurred to invalidate what I say here, but hey, these days, who fucking knows? Am I right? All that said, let's dive into the transits for this week. There is no big news today, Monday, April 27th. Early tomorrow, Tuesday, April 28th, the moon will move into lovely artistic relational Libra. And then Libra's ruling planet Venus will form a flowing air trine to Pluto from 5.5 degrees of Gemini to 5.5 degrees of Aquarius. This is a nice transit for going deep in our relationships, and that could mean a lot of things, especially around Beltane tide, wink. But with these two planets in air signs, this is mostly happening on the mental level of thoughts and ideas. Pluto is the lord of the underworld, right? It wants us to embrace and work with our shadows. It wants us to embody the fullness and wholeness that we have as human beings. And we know that those shadow sides often tend to come out in the context of our relationships, our finances, our creative endeavors. Relational Venus stuff, in other words. So Tuesday gives us a nice opportunity to face some of those challenges with more ease, to transform our values, to shift our thoughts and beliefs around how we relate to others and the world and ourselves. This is a good time to get curious about yourself and others, to liberate your mind, and to get more in touch with your authentic self. And this is a good day to have a tough but important conversation with a loved one. Or maybe you're considering how you use your Venusian resources in relation to Plutonian power structures. Whatever it is, radical honesty is the name of the game here. And this transit kind of foreshadows the Pluto-ruled Scorpio full moon later in the week, too. Okay, there's not much to report on Wednesday, April 29th. On Thursday, April 30th, the moon will move into sultry, spooky, secretive Scorpio. And this is a very witchy day because it's Beltane Eve, also known as Walpurgisnacht or Valborgsmässoafton, just in case there are any other Swedes out there in the audience. And this means that we're already halfway between the spring equinox and the summer solstice, if you can believe it. I have absolutely no idea where the time went, so if you do, let me know. This is wild. We're 6 months away now from Halloween or Samhain. So we're on the other side of the wheel of the year. And you may not know that this is also considered to be a liminal time of heightened spiritual activity when the veil is thin. It's a magical night when witches are said to gather together and dance under the moon. There are lots of different traditions connected with these holidays, such as making bonfires for protection and to represent the growing light of the sun. This is a time to enjoy spring and prepare for summer, to celebrate growth and fertility, to make music, to decorate with flowers, and maybe get into some fun, sexy times if you're into that. Then Friday, May 1st is Beltane, May Day, and also International Workers' Day, which is a more modern edition here by the global labor movement. This is such a good time to come together with community and people power. But going back to the astrology here, we also have several notable transits on Friday, most importantly, a full moon at 11 degrees of Scorpio, with the sun opposite the zodiac at 11 degrees of Taurus. Now, deep, intense, passionate Scorpio is a sign closely associated with sexuality. So an emotional Scorpio full moon on the horniest day of the year seems pretty fitting to me. A full moon is a time of heightened emotions, right? And those could be feelings of love or joy illuminating this magical day. But with Scorpio, we also need to make room for the emotions that our society labels as bad. For the deep, dark sadness, grief, pain, and rage that we often repress. All these feelings are welcome at the Beltane party illuminated by the full moon. Especially because this full moon will square Pluto in Aquarius, making it even more important for us to be radically honest to bravely face the truths and feelings we might rather turn away from, but thereby empowering ourselves. Pluto is a planet of healing too, but first we always have to swallow its bitter medicine. And a full moon is all about release, right? And Pluto is the planet of death, rebirth, and transformation, making this an incredibly powerful time to let go of things, especially on an emotional level. This could be a great opportunity to release taboos and shame we've been taught to feel around sexuality, the occult, or death, for example. By remembering our own mortality, we can more fully enjoy and honor the life that is flourishing all around and within us. Okay, on Friday, we will also experience a sextile between Venus and Saturn from 9 degrees of Gemini to 9 degrees of Aries, respectively. And this is a lovely stabilizing transit. Venus rules earthy Taurus and Saturn rules earthy Capricorn. So even though these planets are currently in air and fire signs, this event can still bring us some nice grounding energy, which is pretty helpful as we're experiencing the wild energies of a fucking Scorpio full moon during Beltane. And similarly to that paradox of dark and light, Saturn will bring some seriousness, realism, and focus to Venus's fun, games, and pleasure on this day. Saturn can help us to commit to our values, to ourselves, to our relationships, our creativity, our finances, all those relational Venus topics I keep talking about, right? And by the way, this definitely includes friends, comrades, community members, and other platonic relationships, not just the spicy ones, okay? In these uncertain times, we have ourselves and we have each other. And in these revolutionary times, topics of joy, pleasure, sexuality, community, magic, and healing are actually of huge fucking importance, both personally and collectively. Finally, on Friday afternoon, Mercury will be conjunct Chiron here at 27.5 degrees of Aries. And this might seem like a bit of a bummer of a transit on Beltane to have the mental planet meeting up with the wounded healer. I actually have a tight Mercury-Chiron conjunction in the fellow fire sign of Leo in my birth chart, right on top of my moon, too. So I know, it could definitely be a struggle sometimes. But as our thoughts turn to pain, and maybe to the wisdom and compassion we can learn from our wounds, this transit actually echoes a lot of the Scorpio full moon vibes of this day. We'll be feeling a wide range of emotions, and the Mercury conjunction to Chiron can also allow us to mentally and verbally process them. In Aries, too, there's an opportunity to learn more about what is dampening your spark, your vital life energy, and maybe to release that under the full moon. Because it's not just joy and pleasure that unites us, it's pain and suffering too. And as we learn from our wounds, we can help to heal others with similar problems, or at least build bridges of empathy between us. And that's what Chiron is all about. So rather than isolating yourself and licking your wounds, make a point of connecting with others on Friday, sharing whatever it is that you're feeling and thinking and experiencing together. Moving on then to the evening of Saturday, May 2nd, Mercury will leave Aries and enter the sign of Taurus. So we'll still have Chiron, Saturn, Neptune, and Mars all in Aries, but some of those hot, fiery flames are finally starting to die down here. And with Mercury in Taurus, our minds will be in a bit of a calmer, quieter, steadier place. We might move more slowly and communicate more intentionally. Our thinking will be a little more grounded and practical, and hopefully more embodied, more connected to our gut instinct and intuition, also supported by all these other transits that we've been working through. Aries tends to be impatient and always in a rush, but the Taurus bull moves at its own pace. And let's be real, a lot of things in life take more time and patience than you might think they should in this culture of instant gratification. Life is a marathon, not a sprint. So this is a time to think about how you use your mental energy sustainably, to simplify and streamline. But that doesn't mean to get yourself stuck in a rut of rumination or to stubbornly dig in your heels with every thought, like the Taurus bull getting stuck in a muddy field, right? Finally, late on Saturday night or early the next morning, if you're not here with me on the West Coast, the moon will move into adventurous philosophical Sagittarius. And then Sunday, May 3rd is a pretty quiet day in the skies. So that's it for your astrological weather report. I'm Alice Pope, hoping you enjoy this week. Logan, back to you.